that it is hump day. And give me an audio check. We got our unit back. So I just want to make sure we are sounding loud and clear for you and making sure there's no thing not happening. So in the chat, give me a all thumbs up or a yes if you can hear me okay. Definitely want to know all of those things. But anyway, we're going to be talking about tonight UFOs and how they've been seen and over our nuclear weapons. And there's a reason for that. And I think that when I share with you some of the stuff that we'll get in tonight, then you're going to get a different perspective. And what could they be saying? Or is it some type of message or anything there? I don't think it's a message, but there's some, well, I guess it would be. I think it will be a message that some things that we need to learn and pay a couple of close attention to. Other than that, I hope you already been having a good week. If you're here for the first time, it's Roderick Martin, High Strangeness. And of course, I am here to give you more information. If you want to find any other little things about me or go and check out a couple other stuff that's out there, then I would encourage you to go right over and hop yourself over to Gaia. You'll see me there with Regina Meredith. You'll see me also with George Norrie. There's a Discovery Plus channel called Alien Endgame, and actually it's on Apple TV as well. Forbidden Knowledge. If you haven't been over there, check out the network. I got 8 episode series there, and I'm in a documentary, Black Knight Satellite, as well as History Channel's Ancient Alien and Fox Tubi. And then I'm in Amazon Prime, and there is a show. It's not on here, but it's called Bigfoot, and another one is called I Want to Believe, and then it's another one. So having about 10, 12 different TV credits in this field of ufology. And so therefore, why am I talking to you? Because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And so we're going to go that route tonight. Fair enough? Fair enough. All right. So basically, again, there's been some reports. They talked about it a little bit on News Nation, and we're going to get into that a little bit. Then we're going to open up the phones a little later, and then we're going to have my guy, DG David, is going to be here, and he's going to do a reading for one person. And, so we'll start doing that real often, because I think it's oftentimes that a lot of you need to really know. We'll draw some names out of the what I would call a chat, and we'll do that a little bit. And I'll have, of course, my prepping for the co-host that we're doing. Selena will be here in a little bit, so she'll definitely draw some names out of the chat for or whoever we're going to do the reading for. And so you'll be able to do that. So just stick around there. So we're going to start out first by giving you a little bit to what is happening in the news. And so let me kind of add the first news clip. It's a few minutes, and we'll do some commentary on that, and we'll just go with that right now. An agency that monitors unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs. The acting director of AARO, Tim Phillips, and the Air Force. And let me pause that for a minute. Make sure you guys can hear that volume. Let me know if y'all can hear the volume of that news clip as well. Somebody let me know in the chat. It was playing just then, and I just want to make sure, because before y'all couldn't hear it. So I just want to know if you can hear the news chat. I'm going to play it again here. Will brief members of the House UAP caucus. Everything good. And the briefing, okay. All right, let's go. From the government agency that monitors unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs. The acting director of AARO, Tim Phillips, and the Air Force Major General will brief members of the House UAP caucus. And the briefing comes during growing concerns over a series of drone incursions in sensitive U.S. military airspace. Joining us now is opinion contributor for The Hill, Mark von Rennenkampf. His latest article titled The Shocking History of UFOs and Nuclear Weapons. Mark, great to have you. Your article, it highlights dozens of documented sightings of UAPs over military nuclear facilities. I'm curious, what were some of the most startling realizations you found out when doing this research?
Hey, good morning, Kelly. Thanks for having me.
All right, so I'm going to play that clip another way. I need to load it up a different way for you guys to hear, because it is going to be a little too low for you. And let me remove it there. So I'll put it back up here in just a minute. But anyway, what they're talking about right now, is that we're having a series of drones, unidentified flying objects, a lot of things that are flying over our nuclear facilities. Okay. And this has been happening for quite some time. And let me give you a little education so that you can think about what we're going to get into. When I, as a UFO investigator, when we go and investigate UFO, especially when they say that there was some type of landing, one of the things we check for is nuclear radiation, because on a small level, of course, because somehow the UFOs kind of emit that when they're out there, but it's almost like it'll harm humans, but it's something that it seems to be what they may be using in all this stuff for their power source. We're not really for sure. Now, there's been a lot of occasions that UFOs have turned off our nuclear weapons, which Robert Salas, he's going to be at the MUFON event this year here in Dallas. So he's one of the prime speakers. If you go back, I've had him on our show about 2 years ago. I interviewed him on Clubhouse as well. And he was one of the Minutemen in the Malmstrom Air Force Base when he was there, when a UFO came over, turned off our nuclear weapons and turned it back on, turned them off to let us know that they can control our nuclear weapons. Now, a lot of people may say, well, is this some type of sign, or what are they doing? Or maybe they're trying to save the planet and by telling us not to use the nuclear weapons. And that could be the case. And I think that's not what it is, but I think that they are definitely sending some type of message to a point that either they got the power to do so and we don't know. But either way, it's not something I think we should play with by all means. And it's not something that I will definitely look into doing. Now, one of the things I will say, though, is why would they? If they wanted to turn off our nuclear weapons, I think most people would be like, Roderick, they're turning them off because they're trying to send us a message. Maybe they're saying not to use them, or maybe they're sending a message that your most powerful weapon that we can. Now, we do know that when the first nuclear or atom explosion over Hiroshima and all of those things happened back in the day is when they start showing up. And it's almost like we alerted them that we have the power, or we have power, or was able to harness the power of the atom, and we start building these powerful bombs. And it's like, if this was Earth, their prison planet or project planet or all of that, they like, hey, these freaking humans are now getting ready to blow something up. And so I think at that point, is one of the reasons that they begin to show, and we'll go over some of that data here momentarily as well. So why are they here? Is it a warning? Is it something there? Well, there's been a lot in history of them doing this. Back in 1967, which was former Air Force Captain Robert Salas, which I talked about, he was on duty as a security personnel, reported a glowing red object hovering over the ICBM, which is the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile Site. Shortly after that, those ICBM missiles under his control became inoperable. Now, that had to have been a freaking alarming situation for all of a sudden. Here you are, you're monitoring the world's defense system, and you have access to trigger the missiles up on command. And then all of a sudden something happens that is not supposed to happen, because you're talking about something that can't be hackable, or definitely the defense system is going to make sure nobody can hack them and misfire them. But the fact that somebody can come in, fly over you and say, we're just going to turn them off, and without even tapping into your system, so to speak, and whatever they was able to use to do so, where it definitely freaked out people. Now, there's been an incident in the past where, and there's videos out here that they was testing a rocket. I forget where they were doing it. Well, they shot this missile up into the sky, but yet it was, and a UFO came out of nowhere, shot a beam of light into the warhead of it, came back around. This thing, the missile is flying at supersonic speed, but the UFO is able to just have a beam hit it, come back around, hit it. So it was trying to disarm the head of it, and then it took off, and they actually caught this on film. And so the military, and they didn't see it in real time until they went back and saw the film that this thing was moving so quickly to do so. So once again, why would they turn them off? And so if you got an opinion and you want to say, well, maybe you know why they turned them off, put it in the chat. I'll check it out for you in just a moment and see what you're saying about it as well. But the most part is, are they sending us a message? I think it's what most people want to know. And I think I'll be one of those people too. Are they sending us a message or not? Because at the end of the day, what is it for us to know that our most powerful weapon that we think we have, at least commercialized for the people, that they can disarm it at will. So whether that leads us if we were in some type of battle with them, and all of a sudden now they're able to cut off our nuclear weapons at any moment. So I think that's something that we need to pay attention with and pay close attention to be honest with you, because once again, it's a scary moment when it comes down to knowing that kind of power sits there where we can't do anything about it. And so I think most of us know that it's not something we want to play with. I just don't think any of us want to play with the fact that they're able to turn off those nuclear weapons. So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? And like I said, I'll get our co-host up here in a minute with us in a little bit. And I think I either may call on his phone. I got my unit back, so I may even make the phone call or get her in up here on the thing. But I think I'll make the phone call and test the computer system here in a few moments. But anyway, let me look in the chat. Let's see. What do y'all think about that? Anybody having anything y'all want to say? Yeah, make sure y'all smash that like button and everything else. So there was another incident in 2014 to 2015. Now, this one is the U.S. Roosevelt encounters. I don't know if you've heard about this, but anyway, fighter pilots from nuclear power aircraft carrier USS Theodore Roosevelt reported nearly daily encounters with unidentified aerial phenomena. During their training exercise, these objects exhibit extraordinary flight capabilities. Now, we've seen a lot of this over the news. David Fraser, Commander Fraser, we've seen Jeremy Corbell have reported stuff like this where it happens and they're over the military bases, which is, military establishments, some of our security system. Are they checking us out would be the question. Or are they trying to look at our weaknesses and see if we have any particular weaknesses and what could they do about it? And I think that's something, once again, the question is, why would they do that? But I will know this. I think at the end of the day, it's not something we want to play with. In my opinion, I'm just saying, I'm not saying to alarm any of you, but I'm saying make sure that you all understand that it's not in our best interest that they're able to turn off our nuclear weapons. And I'm just saying it is just not in our best interest that they're able to do that. So I'm gonna load up another clip here in just a moment, and I'll see if it plays a little different this time as opposed to putting it in the other way. And then that way you can kind of hear what they're talking about in the news, because I think that's important to keep up with that, because that is what's happening out here. So let me download a couple of these. I'll put them in for us, and then we will move on to the conversation. And okay, so another thing was that the pilots, when they talked about that incident, these people actually reported these UFOs actually having this ability to be able to get to our other points. In other words, the pilots was already flying to a certain rendezvous spot, and the UFO somehow knew it without even knowing, was able to meet them at the spots that they was already flying to. And so that means they had to been tuned in somehow. They knew what was going on. All of this stuff is stuff that makes you wonder what the heck is going on, because if they're able to do that, then we should know about the power of them being able to, if we wanted to get in some battle. I think it's something totally different. So I'm gonna load up the clip here. It's about 4 or 5 minutes, 4 minutes, I think, but it is very interesting, and it's gonna set the tone for tonight for you to hear. So definitely sit back for a minute, listen to this clip, and get exactly what's happening. It's gonna be from News Nation, and it was talking about Arrow. They was talking about how the Congress was having this meeting, but it's about the UFOs being over our nuclear weapons. This was in the news today. So if you wasn't in the news or paying attention, then yes, this is something that was already happening and is happening. So let me play it a little bit here in just a second, and then we'll get into it. And then, like I said, I'll bring our co-host in here. And then later on, we're going to pull a name for one of you all to get a reading, tarot card reading. And we're, like I said, we're going to start doing that pretty often, just one per show, and just kind of hopefully give some other people some insight. Then at the same time, if you're needing one, you will contact DG and get yours done. So we definitely want to put stuff there into place. But All right, let me play the clip. Like I said, it's a few minutes, okay? And so we're going to listen to it. So just know that you're going to be listening to it. Pay attention to it. And I may stop it, but if I stop it, I got to start over. And I don't want to do that because I have to start over. But let's roll.
And today, House lawmakers will receive another closed-door briefing from the government agency that monitors unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs. The acting director of AARO, Tim Phillips, and the Air Force Major General will brief members of the House UAP caucus. And the briefing comes during growing concerns over a series of drone incursions in sensitive U.S. military airspace. Joining us now is opinion contributor for The Hill, Mark von Rennenkampf. His latest article titled The Shocking History of UFOs and Nuclear Weapons. Mark, great to have you. You know, your article, it highlights dozens of documented sightings of UAPs over military nuclear facilities. I'm curious, what were some of the most startling realizations you found out when doing this research?
Hey, good morning, Kelly. Thanks for having me. And I got to tell you, as I started looking into this, my jaw progressively hit the floor as I studied the history of interactions between UAP and nuclear weapons. And just to give you kind of a flavor of what I dug up, and a lot of this I owe to a gentleman named Robert Hastings, who has been tracking this for 50 years. So I encourage your viewers to pick up his book. It's called UFOs and Nukes. But at a very high level, there were series of three back-to-back incidents involving our most sensitive nuclear missile silos. So in 1965, over 100 Air Force personnel stationed at nuclear missile silos in Wyoming, Colorado, and Nebraska observed over almost 150 very, very bizarre objects hovering, moving rapidly over nuclear missile silos. This is all documented. This is not just hearsay. This is not just testimony. This is all documented in government records. The following year, 1966, there were documented incidents over nuclear missile silos in North Dakota that interfered with communications. And in 1967, there were documented incidents over nuclear missile silos in Montana, where 10 nuclear missiles actually went offline. And again, this is not just chatter. This is not just former missile officers at a bar having these conversations. These are in documents that we know went up to the Joint Chiefs of Staff and the highest levels of our government. And I want to make one more quick point on that. The government's UFO analysis office recently came out with a report and a historical review of the U.S. government's involvement with UFOs, and it made.
All right, so there you go. I didn't want to play the whole 4 or 5 minutes, but you got the logistics of it. If they're talking about it today, obviously meaning that this is still happening right now, because usually they're not going to make news and relevant about something that 100 years ago, which is cool, but now all of a sudden it's happening now. But like you said, over 100 sightings. And this is one of the things that is kept secret, because this is something they don't want you to know. They definitely, the big secret keepers, do not want you to know that UFOs, UAPs, whatever, are turning off or visiting our nuclear facilities. Because if our protectors, you know, the government, the big secret keeper, the military, begin to tell you that these things are happening and they can't do shit about it, then you can imagine the public scare that would happen at some point, that our most, you know, weaponized units out there can't protect our civilization if there were, or our country, if the fact that there was something to go down. So this is one part of the aspect you won't hear a lot of, because once again, it's national security. Why would they want to tell you that there's something flying around turning our stuff off? But a lot of these people like Robert Salas and a lot of these people are retired, so they're able to talk about some of the things that they have had in challenge. But we probably won't hear about a 2024 incident unless the news media or somebody picked it up that this actually went down. And the reason being because you don't want the fear of what's happening. Now, there was a recent sighting over the global nuclear plants. Now, this reports of a UFO and nuclear power plants have increased around the world. This one happened in the UK to Russia. And all right, so we know that this happened, and even the Ukrainians have been reporting UFOs even while they're going through these battlefronts that they're doing now. Now, I'm not saying that they're to stop this thing, but why not be curious, right? Now, the possible reason is to renew interest in these sites. Is you want to think about that? Why would they start coming today? Now, I would assume that if you were on a long journey and you were some extraterrestrial and however light years or how many years it took to get to Earth, and when you got here, there was some people that had some reports back in the day that we could be some type of charging system for them, right? Earth could be a charging system, and so they come in, get their gas, so to speak, which is the nuclear weapons or whatever, and then they continue on their way. And so it is possible that could be it. And people are saying that that's one of the possibilities. And to be exact, just to let y'all know, I have the world first UFO. You listen to that. Look right there. UFO UAP detector that we have here, and it right here on my desk, and and it picks up electromagnetic. It has an app here, but it'll pick up gravitational fields. It'll pick up the frequencies that the government has been reporting that UFOs do. So now I don't think it's going to pick up a UFO that's 30,000 square foot high, unless it's really emitting some high frequencies there. But for a lot of people who have seen UFOs or think they're visiting their house, or you out there doing a night watch, or you're doing some CE5, this is the first of its kind that will, and it is designed to detect UFOs. Now we can't see them, but that doesn't mean that they're not emitting the frequencies and things that they do, because they do. We know that, and that's how the military tracks them. And so why don't we need to as well? But anyway, we have 5 of these that has been sent here for our community. Now they're not cheap, but they're worth every penny. They're about $300, but you will have a lot of fun. It has an app that'll sit here on your phone. When that detection goes off, it'll tell you that you have either gravitational, or maybe there's a electromagnetic something that's happening. All these cloaking things that these UFOs use. And then, of course, if you think you've been visited by some aliens, then I hate to tell you, then you definitely need this as well. But, I've had a couple of small alarms and stuff, but it was interesting that it was something passing through, and it could have been a plane. I don't know what it was, but it definitely set it off. If you are interested in one of these, I got 5 that has been shipped here, and they should arrive tomorrow. Well, I had 7. 2 people's already spoken for them, but if you want one, you can call me or cash out me $1 or whatever, and I will with your number, and I'll call you and we'll make out the arrangements. But otherwise, you can cash out me with your number and want one. But anyway, these are about $300, and there'll be about $20 for the shipping as well. But anyway, be the first. And if you got one, I got one, and this thing is going across, we can all track it simultaneously on the app, and we can say, oh, it's heading in this direction and all of that. So this thing is the biggest thing out there that's going to pick up from there. But anyway, let's do that. Another thing about it, let me let you know, we are sponsored here by LIVEPURE Coffee. In fact, if you didn't know, let me put that on the screen here to help not only Project Black, but also our Project Thrive. And we've been getting a lot of good response from the coffee. And I have a testimony I'll play for you in a minute. But anyway, this coffee, man, people are talking about it. They're saying they're getting a lot of energy from it. Even Judith, she's in here in the audience today, and she called me. She says, Roderick, bro, this coffee is the bomb. I said, girl, send me a video about that. And so I do have a video that I'll play with her talking about the coffee. Let's do it right now as one of our commercials.
Okay. I am sitting here at work. I made the mistake of having 2 cups of the coffee that our dear friend Roderick is promoting. Oh my God, I've had so much energy today. My neighbor, my desk neighbor, observed me today dancing at my desk, singing, and this is not normal. It's not normal. Forgive me. I got caught in the rain today, so yeah, my hair's looking crazy. 2 cups, y'all. 1 cup is good enough, but it was so good, I made myself another cup. Don't do it. 1 cup a day. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go to sleep. It is It's almost 5 o'clock here. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I'll have to go home and clean up my house. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. Bye, y'all.
Project Black family, this is Roderick, and the first thing I want to start with, your eyes is useless when your mind is blind. Now we know the truth is not found in mainstream energy drinks.
Now then you have health authorities that will talk about sugar as being empty calories. In reality, sugar is very toxic. Roughly half of it is fructose, and the other half is glucose. Fructose is very, very toxic to the body. I would venture to say it's as toxic as alcohol.
Those are designed to keep us hyped and keep our eyes closed and our minds closed. They're not sharp enough for the work that we do. We deserve resources that are designed for truth seekers, for those who refuse to settle. That's why I partner with LIVEPURE. Their coffee is different. It's got those cordyceps mushrooms for focus. It's even for immune defense, and we already know that is important these days. And stamina to keep you going, chasing those leads, whether it's out in the field or in the bedroom. Now here's the deal. Every purchase supports Project Black, the Black League of Alien Contact Knowledge. I'm just looking for 20 of you who want to upgrade your morning routine and to show concrete support for our community. Let's ditch the junk and fuel the fight for the truth, one cup at a time. All right, now I'm telling y'all need to get your coffee. Y'all need to get it. I'm hearing a lot about it in whatever. So it's going to be, does it have mushrooms with a little bit of curd? Oh my God. So y'all can ask Judith. She's in here. She'll tell you this stuff is good. I'm telling you now. I told y'all the other day when I was doing mine, I was like, you know what? And I got some people that I need to call back today that ordered some coffee that cashed out. I still got a couple of boxes left. Well, actually I got 4 more boxes came in today. $35 if you cash out me directly and you want me to ship it out to you. I got to call one person who's paid for one Monday and then get the address. Everybody else went out today. And so you will get your coffee pretty much. And so, man, but they got other stuff too. So you can do it. But let's get back down to this UFO talk. Let's get back down to a few things that we can get into a little bit here. The Cash App is up there on the screen. If you want to also support the show in any kind of way, we are a community funded show. But I'm hoping at this point that you guys get your coffee. And then, like I say, stick around. We're going to have our reading done by our cosmic astrology that's in the chat today as well. So I'm getting ready to give, Angel first. Yeah, let me give you a shout out for the support. So let's do that. I got my new thing. All right. I appreciate it, the support. So let me see if I can reach out and call me in the moon. Let me see if I can get Selena here and put it on the phone here. I think that may work for us a little better than everything else. Let's go there. Let's see what happens. And y'all may hear something, you may not. I don't know. Maybe we will. Okay, can you hear me? Uh-oh, it's not working. My Bluetooth is supposed to be working. All right, so let me see here. Hang on. All right, so it's not working. So what I'm going to do is send you a email so you can hop up in the link, okay? So let me do that. Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, yeah, it's not coming through. I should have tested earlier. So I'm going to send you a link for the email, okay?
Okay.
All right, so yeah, I think anyway, so we'll keep going while I get the email together to send her a link to hop in with us here in just a moment. So let me do that as well. But all right, so once again, though, nuclear weapons. We talking about UFOs. We're talking about what they're doing out there and why would they do such a thing? And, you know, that's a question. And when you go back through history, and if you are going to check somebody out, you definitely want to go and you're going to check out their weaknesses. You're going to see what we can do. But but in our history, nuclear warfare is the most powerful weapons. And this is why some of these other countries, making sure that no one else does it. You know, we don't want anyone else to get nuclear weapons, and there's reason. And I'm not worried about the person who, what's the word I'm looking for, to have, or the country that have several nuclear weapons. You should be concerned about the one that has one nuclear weapon. That's the one who is willing to use it. The ones who got 50 and 100 of them, everybody know that's a self-destruction thing. That's not something good to happen for everyone. So that, we don't worry about that one. But I will say that we do want to look at everything else and how it works here. Let me see here what we got and all of that stuff. All right, so let's keep going. Let's keep going here and discuss some of the other reasons why we're seeing these nuclear weapons. Now, we're talking about the sightings and everything. So let me get all right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, let's make sure that we got testing and they can hear you. And I think that'll be even better. So y'all give a test in the chat, making sure y'all can hear the greatness of Selena, me and the moon here as we are doing what we're doing. So let's go.
Y'all.
All right. So I think they can hear you. Or maybe no, they said no, sorry. I guess they don't.
Can you hear me?
Can y'all hear her talking? Yes or no? Yeah, clear. Okay, they can hear you. All right. So, what do you think about that? When we talking about nuclear weapons, what would your thoughts be? Thinking, are you hearing about UFOs coming over our nuclear weapons?
I think they know something that we don't know. The first thing that came to mind was Dolores Cannon. If you guys are familiar with her, she talked when she did past life. The past life regressive therapy, she had channeled some aliens, and they said something about they wouldn't interfere unless it was some sort of nuclear activity or something like that. So I feel they are coming for protection, because if they mess up or do the wrong thing with nuclear weapons, I mean, that would be detrimental to the planet. So I think it's an interference, but I believe it's a good interference, to be honest.
So you're saying a UFO comes over. All right, let me bring it home for a minute. But you're saying it's a good thing that they're coming in, turning off our nuclear weapons.
Yeah, I think so, because they probably know something we don't know.
But you do know the nuclear weapons is our protection from all the crazy other countries.
I'm aware of that, but I also believe that they know something. I'm sure they have the ability to tap into what's going on. So we don't know what's going on, and we can't hear the conversations that's being had in reference to the nuclear weapons and what they're planning to do with them.
All right. So I would assume that you have an alarm system on your house, correct?
I don't.
Okay. Let's say you did.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say that you armed it for the night and you get ready to go into the bedroom, but you look out across the street and you see this shadowy thing with red eyes sitting over there. Okay. And it waves its hands and your alarms go bloop. It turns off.
Mm-hmm.
And then you arm it back on because this is protection. And then it waves his hand and it turns it off. Are you fucking okay with that?
No, I'm not okay with it.
Well, then how will you be okay with some space alien coming from a thing and turning off our nuclear weapons?
I mean, but that's not what they're doing, because if they wanted to shut something down, they could shut it down. So if they're just
doing.
looking out.
They're turning them off, sending us a message.
So that's what they were doing just now.
Mm-hmm.
You sure about that?
Yeah, we've been having reports about that all the time. We don't talk about it a lot in public because the military don't want a state of fear that we're in a situation where there's something we can't protect ourselves from.
I just feel like they could be turning it on and off because it could be something being planned. I mean, it's just too many things going on, bunkers and all types of stuff. So I don't know. They could be preparing for something and they are aware of what's going on, and they could be looking out. We assume that it's something negative, but I'm not sure I believe that it's something negative. And my mind always goes back when I hear stuff like that. Dolores Cannon speaking about that, and she said that they would not interfere unless it would be detrimental to the planet. So if it is something detrimental to the planet that we don't know, I would definitely want them to intervene for sure.
Well, I'm not saying that they are turning them off and then shooting a gun in them and just blowing them up just to let us know not to use them. But we don't just protect ourselves from other foreign countries and the domestic whatever issues. We will hope that this extends galactically too, that nobody's just going to come in here and open up a can of whoop ass on us and it's a done deal. You get what I'm saying? And if you got something that's displaying the fact that your most ultimate and most powerful weapon on the planet could be disarmed and turned off at a second's notice without you doing anything, and capable of using it to defend yourself, that's a scary moment.
I just feel like I'm sure they have the ability, if they could fly in and out of space and do cartwheels in the air, I'm sure that if they wanted to shut stuff down, they could do that. They are moving, they're treading lightly, which makes me believe that this is for protection purposes. They're scoping the scene, listening in, trying to see what's going on. And if they feel like they need to intervene, they will do so. That's what it makes me think of, them being on guard just in case something takes place. Because I mean, honestly, they could do whatever the hell they want to do. I just feel like they are way more equipped, in my opinion. I don't know for sure, but in my opinion, they are equipped to shut it down. So if they're not really being as proactive as they probably could, them flying around checking the scene could be a good thing. It could really serve as protection, because I feel like we got people in power that don't always make great decisions. And I feel like a lot of those decisions being made aren't always in our best interest. So you get that kind of power in the wrong person's hand or the wrong group's hands, you don't know what could take place. So I feel like if they are looking around and seeing what's going on, it's got to be for a good reason.
XD Bonify says they won't, in capital letters, go against universal laws that cannot shut anything down on the planet. There are galactic laws, not man-made laws. Humans think like that. I don't agree with you. Yeah, I'm not saying what you're saying doesn't make sense of Galactic Federation, but I don't think that, or there is probably in some cases that Earth is off limits to certain things because there's supposed to be some protection. But we're only focusing on the fact that we think that there's maybe, one or two alien species out there. When there's a book behind me on my shelf says there's 80 of them. Okay. So we can't assume that all of them not hostile or not coming over here for, just nice reasons, so to speak. But for them to be able to come and turn them off, I don't think there's any rules that keep them from doing that, because otherwise, who's telling them not to do abductions and cattle mutilations and all of that stuff? And they're doing that every day.
Yeah.
So I'm not for sure about that one. I just don't think that that they are not told to turn them off, at some point. I think turn them off is no different than having a sassy ass friend that you may have and who's gonna just do some shit to let you know the sass is no different than a sassy ass alien flying over your shit, turning your shit off, and fuck you. I can fuck you up when I want to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that's what they're doing. They're sending a message. I can fuck you up if I want to. I just want you to know that, and then leave. That's some messed up shit, though.
No, I honestly believe that is for protection purposes. I don't know why we would think otherwise, because honestly, if they wanted to start some shit or stop something, or I mean, they could do whatever they want. We can't control them.
I mean, I think we have that's my point. I think you just brought something up that's been on my mind all the time. There are so many people who think the aliens are our friends, some of them, because they haven't done shit. Now, shit on the level of your starting some shit is different from my starting some shit. And you know what I'm saying? And just because, I'm put the stick on my shoulder like we used to do when we were little, you kick it off, but they already done slapped you. But put a stick on our shoulder. Starting the shit was already started when they took the first human unwillingly, right?
True.
You know what I'm saying? And brought the other one back, like Whitley Strieber, who said they anal probed him. You know what I'm saying? Or all these other stories of whatever. They already started some shit. So I'm not saying that we have to make sure the elevation of shit that they do is the one that we want to be concerned with. So if you can turn off my weapons, you've started some shit already.
No.
Because now I know I got a problem.
No, but ain't no probing. Who's to say he didn't have cancer or something? Because let's talk about them stories that people got abducted and they didn't have those same issues that they left with, or people having abilities and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm not saying that all of them are good. I'm not saying all of them are bad, but I mean, just as many bad stories as you can think of is some good ones out there too. And I feel like if they really wanted to do something and really wanted to blow some shit up or whatever, the nuclear area would be the best place to let it go. They're not doing that. They're not doing.
Let me remind you a story.
Okay.
There was a story back in 19, and I forget the dates, but the Germans or Russians, one of them sent an expedition to the North Pole, or I think they sent it to Antarctica, because they was looking at this time. We were in the process of fighting for the. You know what? Let me hold that story. I got it. Let me make sure that I bring it. I even written it out once, so I'd rather tell it in a little bit when I get it. So I'm gonna go back to my my files, pull the stories up, because it's worth noting for all of you to hear. But anyway, we'll keep going, and I'll get to that in a minute. It just became really important that I need to tell you how they open up the can of whip ass on our ass. Yeah. And so this is kind of change it a little bit. Still saying they're a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna go for that shit out there.
He's just so against these beings coming over here.
I'm not against all of them, but I know y'all know much as I know. But if you read books of all right, tell it to somebody who's been abducted and didn't come back. Then
you could be right.
You know
I'm
what
not saying you're wrong. I don't want to get it messed up and make it seem like I'm going against what you're saying. I do believe we have to be on guard. We should. It shouldn't just be open arms. Oh yes, thank you. But I feel like if they really wanted to do something, that's the perfect place for it. And I feel like they are disarming. I don't really trust the government and their decisions and everything. I really don't. So I would believe these beings hovering around the nuclear site, not doing anything but scoping the scene over with the secret plans, the ones that we don't really know. I don't trust that. I don't trust it at all. And I feel like, I don't think that they really have our best interests. So I feel like it's not 100% safe, but I kind of feel more secure with them hovering around the nuclear sites, just in case something goes down. They can sit right there and disarm it if something is crazy is about to happen that they know they're not supposed to do, or somebody makes a mistake or something.
All right. I mean, I'm with you. I still think that they have done enough. We, flying around, shooting down aircrafts, you know what I'm saying? And, that's enough. I mean, that's enough to show hostility in, turning off our weapons. And once again, just there are things that they have done that have said these people is not to be played with. That's all I would say.
Right.
There are nothing to be played with. Okay, so all right, so I'm gonna read it from here. That way I was gonna go print it up for y'all. You know what? I am gonna print it up. Then that way I can give y'all some real stuff here. Yeah. There you go, Roderick.
We need the real stuff.
You bad boy. All right. I'm cool like that.
You gotta do it. I like your background too. Did you do something different, or is it a new microphone? I don't know what's going on.
It's the
Is it your haircut? What's making it look so good?
It's the coffee, baby. I'm glowing.
Ah!
Yeah. I'm telling y'all the cordyceps of that mushroom. Y'all see? You see the response? Y'all need to get the coffee. I'm not
Oh,
fucking
we
with y'all.
are waiting.
I'm not fucking with y'all. Y'all need to get that coffee. But also, I'm improving every day. I've lost 7 more pounds, and
I
so
love it.
yeah,
Congratulations.
I appreciate it. So it's all right. So I'm going to print this up.
Okay.
Let me find it. I think I have it here. At least I thought I did. Hold on.
I was trying to read through the chat to see if if I see anything that I need to shout out.
Yeah. So all right, I open this thing up. Oh, export. Dumbass. I didn't do it yet. Okay, I did it now.
What do y'all think? Do y'all think that is that we should be on guard with them hovering around the nuclear sites? I'm trying to read through the chat and I'm behind.
All right. Let's do this. All right. So I'm gonna go into the office and get the document so I can read it to y'all. All right. So let me
Uh,
am I missing the jokes? What's funny?
all
All right. So all right, you're gonna be here by yourself. I'll be back.
right.
So talk to them. They are yours.
Okay, Jay. You said all this spiritual talk and Galactic Federation light and their laws is dangerous. We're gonna be like those people on top of the building at Independence Day getting blown. Don't say that. I am not speaking that into existence. Yeah, I believe they are looking out. DG. We, the regular folk, don't have anything to do with why they are hovering. That's true. Yeah, Jarrell. They should. They should. I mean, how do we know they're not around everybody else? They could be. I just feel like the U.S. is crazy as hell for sure. Can somebody put the link for the coffee in the chat? Miss Sonia would like the link. Yep, weapons of mass destruction, Damon. That's right. In the sci-fi show, and you said in the sci-fi show, the expanse there was an alien organism called the proto-molecule that was far beyond human comprehension, a danger, helping hand to humanity, but it was all in the app or use of it. Oh wow, I need to check that out. So Halifax said they are going to assist us, those that want to move forward, those that don't won't, excuse me. Jay, you said I'm not saying treat them like enemies, but don't treat them like Jesus either. Yeah, I guess that's what me and Rod. I agree with what he said, but I also feel the way I feel too. We just never know. So I don't want to say, oh no, they're the enemies. They're disarming our weapons. They might need to. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think they oh, hang on. I'll be back one more time.
Really? Okay. Monica, you said, I think between the toxic governments and the aliens, we are having a standoff. It seems that way, for sure. Change is coming, but how much change or what kind? That's true. I think our military is flying over us, but the ones stopping the nukes are taking a risk of being shot down in the process for our safety. That could be Sean. Damon, you want them to come knock on your door?
Hell. All right. I got what we need here. And let me make sure. All right. So y'all get ready to get some interesting information.
I can't wait.
Because that's how we roll. And let me let
Wait, just because said this is the last thing I'm gonna read. Hey, the elites are gunning for the population. Someone needs to stop these fools from setting off bombs that will obliterate, life and the earth itself. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, protect us from some craziness.
Well, I mean,
yeah, Monica, turn off them taxes and bills, ASAP.
okay, y'all ready?
Yep. Okay.
All right. It's a little storytelling time, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
So y'all pay attention. In January the 5th, 1933, the Soviet Union, Joseph Stalin, dispatched a scientific discovery group to Antarctica. Now, it was a classified mission, and it was launched during what it was a secret race between the Soviets, China, and the United States, not only to claim control of the world's largest oil supply, but they was also, more importantly, they was after uranium in order to increase the world's first nuclear weapon. We hadn't had one yet. This is a true story. While exploring Antarctica, the Soviet teams claimed to have been met and turned away by what they described as 10 to 12-foot men made of bronze or looking of bronze, and they was accompanied by a small gray creature with large eyes, in which both were said to speak telepathically. Furthermore, when they asked who they were and where they came from, the Soviet scientific teams report to Stalin that these beings communicated that they were the father of creation, and in which they came from a galaxy that resides in the middle of 3 stars that make up Orion's belt. Now, after the Soviet team explained that they came in peace on an exploration to find oil and uranium, the bronze entities reported and claimed that they knew of their plans, in which they warned, like you just said, Selena, any activity that will lead to destruction of the planet. So I'm sure Dolores Cannon and I have the same reports. So she said, upon hearing this remarkable tale, Stanley sends the entire scientific team to jail with life sentences because he believed that they made up the story in order to avoid the exploration of the unforgiving climate of Antarctica. So a year later, as I continue the storytelling, if y'all want to hear some more, y'all hear my little music in the background? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
You can. Okay. All right. So, and let me continue. So on November the 6th in 1934, immediately after becoming the Führer of Germany, Adolf Hitler, he learns of the Soviet scientific team's report through the back channels of the German government spy program. And as a believer in both aliens and the paranormal, now also the race to create his own nuclear weapon, Hitler deploys a small military team to Antarctica in search of uranium. Only about 180 miles into the continent, the Germans shoot down and retrieve what is described as a 10-foot bell-shaped object that was operated by 2 small, quote, gray animals, which were both killed during the attack. Fascinated by the discovery of not only a new intelligence and new creatures or whatever, or quote, he called it animals, as well as the flying machine without wings or an engine, Hitler immediately ordered the craft to be back engineered for what will soon be called the Nazi Empire. And let me pause there for a minute. And I say we all know this is a true story, but what most people don't know is that the United States were really close of speaking German today because Hitler had the superior technology, and had he had an opportunity to reverse this, engineer this down craft, he would have put a bomb on it, lights out. But we get over there in time and stop bringing down a wall. So in 1939, August the 1st, Hitler's scientists have not yet mastered anti-gravity technology. And then Nazi engineer Werner von Braun, which a lot of y'all heard of him, informed Hitler that he believes they will soon have a militarized version of the bell-shaped flying object and will retrieve from Antarctica. So he was already on point to take control. And if you remember, all of NASA, all of German scientists is over. That's how NASA got started, right? When we gave up from Project Paperclip or Operate, whatever the other one. But anyway, 1 month later, on September the 1st, 1939, Hitler begins World War II by invading Poland, in which over the course of 2 years, the Nazi Empire would conquer nearly all of Europe. Then it gets tricky. December the 7th, 1941, okay, let me back up for a minute. President Roosevelt at this time did a statement about the Japanese they had attacked Pearl Harbor from Hawaii. And then, of course, Congress declares a state of war on the United States and Japan. Now, and this is all what's done happen. I don't think a lot of people tap into where we're going with this. So in 1941, Japan strikes United States at Pearl Harbor, forcing us into World War II, which ultimately led to the defeat of Hitler and the Nazi Empire. That's how we got NASA. That's how we got all of their space technology. They was that close of completing it, and then they would have destroyed. We would all been talking Germany. No problem. Whoever got that technology first would have been in. So right. On February the 24th, 1942, approximately around 3:18, a massive unidentified flying saucer appears off the coast of Santa Monica, California, which moves slowly down the Long Beach coast. This is going to be the Battle of Los Angeles, in which could be the first of confirmed times that the United States military attacked extraterrestrial presence. It was over 1,400 anti-air rounds were fired at the massive aircraft, and having no effect exactly 14 a.m., the UFO instantaneously disappeared, in which the event now covers over the LA Times. Now, the following day, the press conference was held by Frank Knox, the U.S. Secretary of the Navy, in which he claimed that they nearly were firing at weather balloons due to war nerves, in which the weather balloons were reported intact and still operational. So people believed that shit at that time, that we fired 1,400 rockets into the air at balloons and the balloons didn't burst. But people believed it, right? So right. This little thing calmed the public, and the military could take out the weather balloons. So people was upset. They was like, you cannot take out weather balloons with 1,400 aircraft, and how could we defend ourselves on the coastline? So where I'm going with this is, in 1942, we had an incident, Selena, that we proved that we couldn't defend ourselves, and we claimed it was weather balloon, and the public went fucking bananas. So they wouldn't do that again. There is no way that the government, what I was talking about earlier, there's no way they're going to reveal to us that it's a major issue that they're turning off our most powerful weapons. Because back then, those guns were some of the most powerful stuff, and we couldn't do nothing about it. In the public, oh yeah, there was weather balloons, and they fucked up because they tried to use that same story in Roswell. It worked, right? Right. So at this point, as I keep going down the list, April the 29th, 1945, with their backs to the wall, Hitler reports and accepts the defeat that narrowly escapes from Berlin, Germany he went to Argentina via a submarine after being poisoned by his bride of 24 years, which is Eva Braun, which was related to Von, what's his name? Hitler reported he lost the war on his engineering ability to create the nuclear bomb, and as the anti-gravity war machine known as the Dia clock, or the Nazi bell, which we end up getting, was planned to use against the United States. So they had every plan that when he got those alien technology, he was going to use against the United States. So that was going downhill. At 5:28 a.m., July the 16th, 1945, about 35 miles south of Sirocco, New Mexico, the United States, this is where it all changed, and this is when the aliens showed up. So y'all make sure y'all hear me out. So the United States successfully designated the world's first atomic bomb, codenamed Trinity, okay, signaling to the world that the U.S. has won the race on creating a nuclear bomb. Remember, back in the 30s, we were going over to Antarctica. The aliens knew about it. Everybody was trying to get uranium. Germany, China, and us. But we went on and got there through some other methods here. So anyway, we dropped the bomb. And all of a sudden, in 1947, 46, all of the UFOs from Roswell, all of them start showing up. That's when they all start coming. We signaled not only to the world we had the power, but we also signaled to the universe that these ants here now can blow some shit up. So that's when they start coming. We brought them here. Well, they was probably already here, but we brought the one curious here. And so another part was that once we dropped that bomb, so in August the 6th, 1945, only 3 weeks after the Trinity test, under the direction of newly elected president, we dropped the bomb on Hiroshima, Japan. And that when we showed again that we had power, and that bomb was like 20,000 tons of TNT. So the Japanese at that time was like, fuck it, this is Pearl Harbor, we're not going to do this. Once again, we're still showing the power of the United States, but it's coming down where the UFOs didn't like it, and it got worse and worse and worse. And so on September the 3rd, 1945, this is when the shit changed. So I think a lot of y'all heard of the story I'm getting ready to get into. The United States launches Operation Paperclip, in which 1,600 Nazi scientists, including Wernher von Braun, were granted immunity from all of their war crimes, okay, in exchange for continuing their work for the United States military. And during that von Braun's interrogation, the United States learned that Germany had an encounter with the Braun's aliens over in Antarctica, okay? And as an attempt to creation of this Nazi deal clock. So our government was behind the UFO shit. So when we beat Germany, we then bring all of their scientists over who was already working on reverse engineering spacecraft, anti-gravity. So we probably got this technology now, and that's why they say most of these UFOs we see is ours in the sky. You know, it's our own military. But anyway, right. Operation Paperclip, we then allow them to come in and then take over. But here's where it gets tricky. Now, when our government finds out through the Germans, but the Germans learned what happened in Russia, then we some dumbasses, right? So the United States did the first back engineered military anti-flying machine. So we made one in the 1950s, okay? Which is then today is primarily used as a spy craft, and that we use it now and seen recently in capture footage. And a lot of people talk about that now. So Admiral Byrd, which y'all know about him, and remember one of the things he was talking about when he went to go over to Antarctica. And then by this time, you got to remember, we met the alien, and this is to show you the timeline of why they don't like us and why I tell you they're not coming over here peacefully. They met us in 1933 and told us they were the creators. They said, we know telepathically that you are here to build some bombs. Do not do the shit. Hitler goes over there and they meet us peacefully, but this time he shoot their asses down, okay? So they pissed. He done killed them. He shot them down, took their crap. Now we take our dumb asses over there with Admiral Byrd, and y'all already heard that deal. We took the first military nuclear submarine. We took 1,400 people. We took all these fucking spacecraft, and I mean airplanes. And we were giving the order to have anybody to defend, to bend to the might of the United States, except we didn't realize what we was going to run into. So anyway, in August the 6th, 1946, due to false sense of power based on the development of nuclear stockpile, after learning of one of von Braun's claims, the Braun entities in Antarctica will now allow uranium and sea and oil to be mined from the icy continent. So everybody knows right now that the UN surrounds Antarctica. Antarctica is the biggest place where nuclear uranium can be pulled, and the aliens have set up shop there. That's why we don't go there. They don't want us over there. They're like, no, come over. You can't get this shit out of here. Right. And so they know that's the main, even though we have nuclear bombs and we have did other technology. So United States Navy Admiral Byrd was ordered to leave an expedition, a military known as Operation High Jump, which would be the second 5 confirmed times that the United States military complex would attack extraterrestrial entities. So once again, we have always been the one attacking them.
Exactly.
And now they're here to tell us we can fuck with you. That's what I'm saying. They're like, we can fuck with y'all. So
that's why we can't be trusted. We cannot be trusted. We always want to fight. We always want to just have war. not find out what these things really want. It's always like aim and shoot. And I feel like that's crazy. That's really crazy. That's why they would need to be at these nuclear sites to
That's true.
shut stuff down because they know we don't have a good track record.
Well, I'll finish here. So Operation High Jump included 4,700 men, 13 ships, 33 aircraft, the world's first weaponized nuclear submarine, which he was ordered by Truman to destroy any threat to the will of the United States. And after venturing further into Antarctica and only other previous expedition, Byrd was met by 5, this time, dish-shaped objects that decimated his military in under 3 fucking minutes. Okay. In 3 minutes, they 13 ships, 33 aircraft, and 4,700 men. And which Byrd caused in an immediate retreat after losing over half of his men and 100% of the aircraft. And upon returning to the United States, he informed the government, Truman, the enemy exercised mercy on us, and we were no match for the technology we encountered down there. And we had chosen to attack our retreat. They could have destroyed our entire fleet in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
So once again, I'm saying, like I said before, turning off my weapons doesn't that tells me I need to catch up because and I'll finish with the last part of here. Well, I got a couple more. So in addition, Byrd also shared photos with Truman that he captured during the operation. These photos included unexplained light emanating from the sky and one of the flying saucers had encountered during a battle and the discovery of a pyramid. So Admiral Byrd said there is a pyramid in Antarctica. We just don't see it, right? So in 18, and remember he also saw mammoths and all of that in snow or whatever, you know. And okay, you would think that would be untrue, but today in real life they announced what we have our first born baby mammoth was born, and they're gonna turn them loose in Colorado. So our government has been playing with fucking science, and they done found a way, and they brought back a fucking mammoth, and it was first one was born today. And now they're gonna bring back some other stuff from the past. See, this is how Jurassic Park shit is real when they bring back the fucking T-Rex and that bitch eat all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We do some stupid shit like that. So anyway, and as I come into a close with 2 more events here. In 1947, after observing 3 flying saucers approaching White Sands military proving grounds in New Mexico, the U.S. Air Force successfully shooting down 2 of the saucers and then classified microwave pulse technology. And what will be the third confirmed that the United States attacked the extraterrestrial presence, the flying saucer and its crew, and what is referred to for the first time as alien graves, which was all decimated just outside of Roswell, New Mexico. But the second flying saucer, which remained predominantly intact despite the impact of the crash, killing on board the crew of 3 aliens, was shot down 6 miles north. So the history that we all hear is there was a alien crash in Roswell. We shot it down. And once again, we, open up a can of whip ass on those folks. So July the 8th, due to multiple eyewitness, the event in Roswell Daily released a front page story about an incident which the military claimed was nothing more than a crashed weather balloon, despite the fact that unknown metals was discovered, including a piece of the craft with engraved Egyptian hieroglyphs. Now, here's what I want to put up here, and let me put this on the screen for y'all. And this is where we're going. And see, I'm sending us on a mission that most people don't know. So if you look at the logo that I'm gonna put on the screen of Project Black, and I've said it before, I have hidden in plain sight a brown skinned alien with a third eye wearing Egyptian clothes. Okay. I did that on purpose because there is something that we need to know that we're going to be teaching in Project Black, all about the Egyptian side of our heritage when we get into this thing. So y'all stand ready. Okay. So again, this thing had Egyptian hieroglyphs on it, which translated to the word freedom, as well as it appeared to be a 6-finger control as whatever. Now, since the countless whistleblowers have come forward, they all claim the United States was in a cover-up, including military, autopsy in Area 51. And then the last part, I'm going to read this last one, which actually I got two, but I'll read the last one. December 1st, 1959, Eisenhower established the Antarctica Treaty, which is quickly signed by 12 of the most powerful countries in existence. This treaty, that Antarctica shall only be used for peaceful purposes, in which only scientific research bases could be constructed on the continent. Unfortunately, there is nothing more than an attempt to trick the bronze aliens currently residing in Antarctica that all 12 countries have secretly built military bases around Antarctica, which reportedly have called cautionary measure. See, that's another thing that a lot of people don't know. Reason the UN and everybody's over there, then I think at this point that what's the word I'm looking for? I think at this point that we're over there because that's what a threat is. And this is why nobody can go to Antarctica. You're not going to get no build over there. You're not going to get anything, but all these military bases surround Antarctica because that is where we're hoping that this shit don't start from. See, that's the threat. That's the threat for us to be over there. So October 31, this is the last one, 30th, 1961, the Soviet Union successfully designated the hydrogen bomb known as TSR Bomba, which is 3,800 times more powerful than an atomic bomb that we dropped on Hiroshima. And as of today, they have the most powerful nuclear weapon that ever been designated on planet Earth. All right, so let me turn the story time off now. I hope y'all learned something and gave y'all some facts, okay? Make sure I did. All right. I hope y'all learned something. And if you found any value, you can either buy some coffee right now. You know what? Y'all need the fucking coffee. I'm telling you. Judah's testimonial and other people are already telling you. I'm telling y'all, this is some serious shit. And you already see, Selena was just talking about my improvement. I'm shit right there. She said, what you do? You change the background been this way for a fucking year. You get what I'm saying? Fucking been the same goddamn background, but I played along with it. Yeah. That's what you see, baby. Oh, it was your hair. Oh, thank you. You finally know I got my trim shit cut, but that's cool too. But whatever it is, I'm glowing with power and stamina. Okay, I just want y'all to know immune system and cognitive function. So that means I'm giving off the energy, and it's all about the cordyceps in this coffee. So if you want some right now, cash out me. It's right there on, or it was. You know, y'all need to do it. I'm not just playing with y'all. I'm telling you, y'all playing. Y'all what? No, I'm gonna use what the young folks said. Y'all sleeping on this. Get you some coffee and wake the fuck up. Yeah, that's what I want to say. They sleeping.
What are you telling us to do?
Get the coffee and wake the fuck up. They sleeping on it.
Oh, I need that because I need to wake the fuck up too.
Yeah, you don't have to say that shit. You know, your shit was in the mail expressed. What shit was like?
His before mine, so mine could have been expressed.
Right. Let me put this on here. Somebody caught my attention with the word sexy. It's very sexy, Roderick. The music and the Hitler hooking up with the aliens. All right, then, cool. Yeah, that's cool. Appreciate it. Me and the moon. All right. So anyway, right now, coffee, man. Or y'all can go online and you can get some of the noni juice. I ordered some noni and some other stuff that'll be here pretty much. But either way, y'all can support the show. So reading that, I kept this in this timeline because at one time I was going to do kind of a story on that. But just to let people know that the game and the UFO detector right there. If that joker start really beeping tonight, where are we? Yeah, I don't know. That'll be something. But anyway, yeah. So all I'm saying is, you're right. We got a history of doing some of this stuff to ourselves, right? I agree. We've done it. We the one have been the aggressors. We've shot them down. In the ones that we have, but I think our military has been really selective. They know which ones to shoot down.
Do they though?
Yeah, there's some that do not. That's been here that don't come in peace. I mean, it's just plain and simple. It's just not what it is. Now we have different technology now. We got orbs and all this stuff, but I'm like with Lou Elizondo. Lou Elizondo, he has this what he call a muddy blueprint theory. And he says if you're in your house and you got your alarm on, like I was describing to you earlier, and then all of a sudden that you get did y'all hear that?
Okay.
Did y'all hear the fucking noise of that?
Baby.
Yes. Let's give her a shout out. She's gonna get some of this coffee. Y'all give a shout out to Barbara. Yeah, y'all give a shout out to Barbara. And Barbara is the black. And then I'm gonna send you a couple of sample cups of the caramel and cream. I'm gonna stick it in the pack when I mail this out to you. And I'll call you tomorrow, which like you gave your telephone number and get the address. But I really appreciate you doing that as well. Like I said, I got a few of them in today. Y'all, you know what? Y'all give Barbara thank you. And somebody else need to get, at least 4 of y'all need to get some coffee tonight. Plain and simple. And support the show. Huh?
Kim Brooks said she didn't get her coffee. What happened to her coffee, Rod?
Did you order down, Kim? Did you get the sample that you asked for the sample, right? Or did you buy coffee? Because I shipped some out today, but let me make sure. Or now if you went to the site and got it, then they should give you a UFO. Let me make sure. How did you get it from me? Yeah. What did she say? I haven't seen it. What she said. The sample. Okay, yeah, you should get yours. I put it in the mail with the other stuff, so you'll get the sample. Yeah, I put it in a white envelope. I think I held it up and I told everybody Monday, and I said it was going out Tuesday. So just look by the end of the week. You're gonna get a sample of both. You're gonna get the black sample and the caramel and cream sample. Okay, so I appreciate it. Yeah, because I knew you didn't order a box, but I knew I've sent. You were the only one. I think you and somebody else had asked for a sample, but and